Now let's talk about some of these video examples. First off, our real-time interactive video teleconferencing applications are things like Cisco Telepresence. They require low end-to-end latency. We can't have a lot of delay built in. Otherwise, it's not going to be a conference. It's going to be one-sided because you can't interact with each other. We are highly sensitive to jitter. If there's any jitter, this causes voice issues. We can drop packets. Not good. We are highly sensitive to packet loss. This is a big deal. We have small playback buffers here, which we are sensitive to jitter and delay because we have small playback buffers here. We don't have large playback buffers because it has to be in real time. Remember, a buffer is an area where we build up data and then send the data. Well, if it's a real-time interactive video, we can't build up that much of a buffer. Otherwise, it's no longer real time. It's delayed, right? So that's why we're so sensitive to jitter and delay for our real-time video. Low data rate throughput is not a significant issue here in real time, unless you're using a highly HD real-time interactive video, which isn't usually the case these days. Next up, our video on demand applications. Our video on demand applications are things like Netflix. Here, when we talk about Netflix, we do have a large buffer built in. So jitter and delay is no longer a significant issue. And packet loss is not a significant issue either because we're using TCP to take care of things for us. So retransmission is really possible here. The thing that we have to worry about on video demand applications is what? Low data or low throughput. If I have low data or low throughput, guess what? Now my quality of video suffers. I can transmit HD in most locations for Netflix or whatever video on demand, maybe a training video. A training video you may be streaming at the moment or video on demanding at the moment. But if your throughput or data starts to drop, the quality of the video is going to suffer. And depending on the application, it may even drop. So very, very important to understand. Jitter and delay, not such a big deal for video on demand applications. But that throughput can definitely affect quality. So if you have a site or an area within your building that's going to use video on demand applications, you would test much more for quality than jitter and delay. Or you would care much more about the low data rates rather than focusing on jitter and delay in that area. Now, what about live streaming applications of video? What do we need to worry about there? If the organization is live streaming applications in their building or in a specific area, you need to be aware that, jitter and delay are moderate issues. We have okay size buffers at that point. Packet loss becomes the significant issue. Because we're using UDP transmission in most cases, UDP does not resend packets. UDP is best effort delivery. So if I'm losing packets at a significant rate, I'm basically losing data. I'm losing frames. I'm losing the quality of the picture. I'm losing a lot of things. Low data rates are also significant issues because basically low data rates means I'm only going to get packets every now and then, and we're going to have an issue with playback. This is supposed to be live streaming. So it's not always an issue, but low data can be an issue depending on the application and whether the application is being fed enough data to keep it going. So we discussed a lot about those video demands and the different live streaming video on demand applications and real-time interactive video teleconferencing. So be aware of those demands and how they play into your environment. Remember, we're still in the gathering of information phase, so keep as much information as you can.